Mercury in Gemini is fairly simple to understand because a planet in its own sign is really not too much work to interpret. But let's go through the resonances so that we can understand the details more clearly. The first thing that's obvious is Mercury is the planet of intellect, and Gemini essentially is the intellect sign. Doesn't mean a bookwormy sign, that's more like Virgo. It doesn't mean a pontificating sign or something. It doesn't mean necessarily a logical sign. It just means intellect, the mother of speech. So Mercury being intellectual and Gemini being intellectual, the expected result for a native with Mercury and Gemini is that they're smart in the ways that Mercury is smart, and especially in the ways that air facilitates Mercury to be smart. So we'll see with the other synergies how that works out. The first one that comes to mind is the fact that Mercury is the planet of communication because it's the planet of intellect, and intellect is the mother of language, communication. So Mercury and Gemini both signify communication. So if you've got Moon in Gemini, the theme in your life is communication. Most likely you're quite a communicative person. You like to communicate. You need to communicate. You do a lot of communicating. You deal with communications. And that's the most direct and practical implication of what we mean by smart. You're able to convey information and receive information effectively. And that's what communication is. A parallel here with communication is expressiveness. Moon and Mercury, because it's a good communicator, it allows a person to be expressive. So you'll find that they have more dexterity or finesse in expressing themselves tactfully or artfully or dramatically as they need. The next significant resonance here is the fact that Mercury is a planet of relationship, friendship, and Mercury sign Gemini is also a sign which signifies connectivity and friendship relationships. Pattern matching is the basic function of intellect. Pattern matching means establishing relationships. So the planet of intellect is going to be the planet of relationships, especially friendships. And Gemini, being Mercury's sign in the air element, is certainly going to be all about establishing connections, making friends. So what you expect from Mercury and Gemini in a chart is the person's friendly. It's very simple. The person's friendly. You could also translate that into they are likable, or they're well connected. They have a lot of friends. They know how to make friends. They make good friends. They're well networked with people. Another important synergy here is that Mercury signifies symmetry, and Gemini also being Mercury's sign in the air element, which is known for its sameness. It's not heavy on one side or the other. Mercury's air sign is also very symmetrical or balanced in the light. So here you have a resonance. The planet is symmetrical and the sign is symmetrical. Gemini is a twin, a mirror image. So what do you expect from Mercury and Gemini in this regard? You expect a person who's symmetrical. What does that mean in practical terms? They look good. They look right. They're beautiful. They're good looking. Not only are they good looking, they probably dress well. They probably know how to put patterns together, even with their clothes, and they look balanced and neat, and the lines work. The type of mercurial beauty also tends towards youthfulness, so they'll probably have a youthful appearance into their older age. Besides having an effect on their looks, this has an effect on their intellectual process, of course. So you expect them to be symmetrical in their intellectual process, which means they won't be heavily weighing on one side or another side of any issue. They'll love to dance around both sides, hear all the sides. They'll be multifaceted. They'll have balanced approaches to things. They'll want to hear everybody's story. Finally, the last thing I want to mention about Mercury and Gemini is that Mercury is the planet of interaction, and Gemini is a sign of commerce or interaction. Right? Communication means trade, exchange, it means commerce. So, as a result, what do you expect? People with Mercury and Gemini are good with trade or exchange. That means they're good shoppers, for example. They buy good stuff. They know how to find the right stuff. They are good sellers as well. They could be good marketers. They can be good business people. So that is the basic gist of Mercury in Gemini. It basically boils down to these people are smart, and here are the various ways in which they're smart. They know how to communicate and express themselves. They know how to relate to other people so they can make friendships. They are smart looking, balanced and neat, and look good in their body and in their clothes. Youthful, balanced in thinking, not heavily biased or prejudiced on anything, and pretty good at exchanging information and exchanging money and things like that. Now, what we do in these videos with the planets and the signs is I show you a consistent technique that you can use for any planet and any sign. And the technique is very simple. You look for where the planet symbolizes something that's very, very similar to what the sign symbolizes. And once you find that, you assess whether or not the planet and the sign are harmonious about that thing, or whether they're antithetical about that thing. The dissonant resonance reveals what's complex or difficult for the native. The harmonious resonance, on the other hand, indicates what's easy, what comes natural, what's an inherent strength for the native. What I'm teaching you really is the method of how to do astrological interpretation by going down into the engine of the symbolism and comparing the parts. The actual interpretation that you should give is going to be individualized per the individual chart. So if you have person A with the moon in Scorpio and person B with the moon in Scorpio, it's not going to be exactly the same interpretation, because person B's moon might have an aspect from something and person A's moon doesn't, etc., 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 etc. But what I'm showing you in the videos is the backbone of what a planet and a sign symbolizes. And once you understand that backbone, you modify it based on the circumstances, the extraneous circumstances that are affecting an individual chart. So I hope you really like this system, not just this one video, but all the videos that we do on the planets and the signs. We'll do them all. And I hope you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of those. And I hope to see you around soon. Thank you.